All right, guys. So I caught this clip of Undisputed with Skip and Shannon, in which Skip Bayless gave a take that probably is up there with his all-time worst takes ever. And of course, he's not talking about sports, right? He's talking about something that's not in his wheelhouse, politics. I really don't understand why these sports shows want to be so involved in politics. But they're going to be discussing the outcome of the Derek Chauvin trial. And Skip is going to basically say something that if the right says, we get in trouble for, but the left can say it freely because they think that the outcome that they wanted is justice. So let's take a look.
The sports world had a lot to do with what happened yesterday.
Absolutely.
All the powerful voices, starting with LeBron James in the sports world, had impact on that jury yesterday. Foremost, Colin Kaepernick had impact on that jury. He professionally died for this cause. He gave up his chosen profession, his dream come true of playing quarterback in the National Football League. He gave it up to protest just this.
Correct.
The killing by white cops of unarmed black women and men that has gone on for years and years, gone on for far too long. And Colin finally said, enough.
Enough.
I'm going to first sit and not stand up for it. I'm going to sit down for it. And then he knelt for it. And he lost his job because of it. And it was impactful. And the ripples from that are going to be felt for years and years. And I wanted to thank him publicly for what he sacrificed for that to happen, because you know it started right there.
It did.
Black Lives Matter was already a movement, obviously, but it fed off that.
Right.
It was fueled by what Colin Kaepernick did. A quarterback in the world of sports can have that much impact on real life. And this is about the realest life that we ever.
All right, guys. So this man basically said that LeBron James and Colin Kaepernick and BLM, to a certain extent, had an impact on the jury. Okay, so guys, tell me, how is this any different than when people on the right say that, yeah, these riots and protests may have had an impact? It's no different whatsoever. People on the left and the right are literally saying that. But when people on the right say it, they try to frame you as some type of conspiracy theorist, okay? Or some kind of racist, because they think that you say something like that, that means you automatically wanted Derek Chauvin to be acquitted of all charges. As if, you know, you're a sore loser or whatever, right? I mean, and there's plenty of people on the right who wanted Derek Chauvin to get convicted, who thought that what happened was horrible. There are plenty of people on the right that believe that, okay? So it's not even like, you know, the outcome was undesirable to a lot of people, okay? It's just that a lot of people was like, okay, we want this to be fair. We want to get the right outcome under fair circumstances that doesn't undermine the integrity and the sovereignty of our judicial system, okay? That's all it was. But see, the Democrats don't care, okay? And, you know, I don't know if Skip Bayless is a Democrat. I thought he was not woke before. I generally like to think that he's playing to his audience, right? He's trying not to upset a big black football player that sits across the table from him, right? So he doesn't have a choice but to say woke stuff, or he risks pissing off Shannon Sharpe. But again, the fact that, you know, these people are openly acknowledging that the jury was swayed by outside forces when it comes to whether or not a man has freedom or not, right? And like whether he's punished by the law, like they just don't understand the magnitude of that statement. Like what you're saying about our institutions. Okay? But I get it. They think that our institutions are messed up. They want radical change. You know, conservatives tend to want more slow reform, right? We acknowledge that things change over time. Things need to be improved, obviously, but we want to do it in a way that doesn't undermine the whole thing. Okay? That's what makes us conservative. And then Skip Bayless, he goes on this whole thing about Colin Kaepernick. And I'm like, where did you get Colin Kaepernick from? Where did he come in this conversation? Colin Kaepernick is irrelevant. That man is done. Have y'all noticed Kaepernick has been quiet, right? I don't even think he's responded to any of this stuff. I haven't seen anything from Kaepernick. Guys, the reason why is because Kaepernick done cashed out. He's made his money. And this is why when Skip is sitting here talking about how Kaepernick sacrificed this, I'm like, what did he sacrifice? He made millions of dollars, probably more money than he would make playing football, being a fake activist. And he didn't even have to risk his brain being turned to mashed potatoes in the process of accumulating that much wealth. Kaepernick won, bruh. He didn't lose nothing. So this idea that Kaepernick lost something, right? It's so ridiculous. Okay? And also what's ridiculous is the idea that Kaepernick kneeling, he made so much change. Bruh, people was dying from police brutality before Kaepernick. People are dying after Kaepernick, okay? Kaepernick ain't stopped nobody from dying from police brutality. It was around the same numbers before him. It's around the same numbers after him, okay? What Kaepernick did do is that he divided America, right? He successfully divided America and politicized sports and has led to the decline of two great American sports that have benefited black people, the NFL and the NBA, okay? That's what he's done. He has probably at this point hurt more black wealth than he's accumulated for black people, right? And that's really the metric that really matters, right? You increase net worth, everything else falls into place. What this man did was he made sports political, which means that he made it so less people want to watch sports, which means there's going to be less money going into the pockets of black athletes. That's what Kaepernick did. And, Skip Bayless sitting up here praising Kaepernick as if he's some type of civil rights hero, as if he caused all this to happen. It's ridiculous because I think even without Kaepernick, if people see something like that, I think it's going to be a big deal regardless, okay? The Black Lives Matter movement was there before Kaepernick. All this stuff was being talked about before Kaepernick. Did he bring more attention to it? Yeah, sure. But I'm not sure if he's had as much of an impact as everybody wants to say that he has. Outside of, decreasing the fan base in a lot of these predominantly black sports. But, I could be wrong, right? I could be wrong. But I do know one thing. It's crazy how the left can openly say that the jury may have been influenced by outside forces, right? They can say that and nobody ever questions that, like, is that how our legal system is supposed to work? Like, nobody ever says that. But see, if the right says that, or conservative says something like that, oh, you're a conspiracy theorist, oh, you're salty, oh, you're a racist, blah, 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 blah. It's just funny how the double standard works for these people. But let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a black conservative perspective. Peace.